Welcome back, everyone, to our Access Participant Spotlight segment, where we highlight the different career journeys of our awesome Access participants. As a reminder, Access is a professional leadership program that focuses on developing young Latinx professionals in our city. My name is Fabio Yataco, and I am a member of the Leadership Committee for Access, and I'm joined by Ruth today. Ruth.
Thanks. Yeah, so I am Ruth Morales, Director of International Latino Affairs in the Office of Mayor Joe Hogsett, and we are your hosts for this monthly segment on the ILE show. So today we have two Access participants, Elizabeth Cornejo Flores and Alexis Gonzalez. So welcome you two. We're excited to have you on our Access Participant Spotlight segment, and today's topic will focus on your experience in government. So I guess we'll start off by if each of you could share a little bit more with us about like yourself, kind of so where are you at now? Where did you maybe go to high school, college? What did you major in, and so forth? So why don't we kick it off with Alexis?
Hi, thank you so much, Ruth and Fabio. So I'm a first-generation Mexican-American. I was born in Valparaiso, Indiana, so Northwest Indiana, super close to Chicago. So I went to Valparaiso, Valparaiso High School, and I went to the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. So a little far away, but I double majored in political science and philosophy. I truly loved both aspect of kind of that theoretical thinking, but also that straightforward thinking of like campaigns and everything. So I recently moved to Indianapolis. So I went from Minneapolis to Indianapolis. I've only been here about 8 months. And I have had the great pleasure of being the director of the Indiana Commission on Hispanic and Latino Affairs for the state of Indiana for these past 8 months. That's what brought me here to Indianapolis. My commission is a nonpartisan state commission for the entire state of Indiana, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and I've been loving Indy thus far.
Thanks, Alexis. Well, welcome to Indy. I'm sure that you're gonna learn so many great things about this great city. How about you, Elizabeth? Share with us a little bit.
Hi. Okay. Thank you so much for having me. So I will be graduating from IUPUI in May with a Bachelor's of Science in Public Affairs, majoring in Civic Leadership with a double minor in Policy Studies and Latino Studies. And I just wrapped up my internship at the Indiana House of Representatives. Oh, and I'm from Maryville, Indiana, so originally from the region as well.
That is awesome. Well, congrats to both of you. It seems you guys both have awesome things going for you, and I'm excited to have you both on today. And thanks for making time. I'm sure you guys are very busy. So moving on to the questions, what has been the reason why you chose to apply to Access? And what has been one of the biggest takeaways you all have taken away so far? We can start with Elizabeth.
So for me, I was interning at the mayor's office. I had the pleasure of working with Ruth when I first heard about the Access program. And I also had been friends with some people in the previous cohorts. And I just heard some really, really great things about the Access program that really sparked my interest. And my biggest takeaway so far has been just the community that we've been able to build. I really look forward every month to seeing everyone, the conversations that we're able to have. And yeah, just seeing everyone and even like the group chat that we have, the friends that we've made.
That's awesome. Really building community. I think that's the awesome part about every cohort. Every cohort is different, but somehow everybody comes together and really bonds and creates a lot of great memories. Alexis?
Yeah, so I learned about Access through many people that I've met in the community. So I met Fabio and Ruth and Gloria just with my everyday doings with my job. And just hearing about Access and just seeing it all over, I was like, well, it would be a no-brainer not to apply. So I applied, and I'm so grateful to be a part of the group. Like Elizabeth said, our group chat is super fun and interesting. Everyone just uplifts each other all the time. Like when someone gets a new job or goes up for an award, everyone's there supporting one another. So it really is that sense of community. another reason why I was just really gravitated towards it is I never really had a large group of friends that were Latino individuals. I've had a wide array, but really feeling that sense of community and camaraderie, and all knowing that we have the same struggles, just being Latinx in the professional world, a lot of us dealing with the same things, or even just being able to talk about like Selena or different things, being able to just really communicate, not only talking about professional endeavors, but just really fun things that are connecting us through our culture.
And I think that's something that, has been expressed in the past cohort. So you both are in the fourth cohort, but, it seems like Access has allowed for a lot of, young Latinx professionals, community leaders to really build meaningful connections with one another through different cohorts. So, that's really, amazing to hear that the program, 5 years later is still helping, all of us stay connected and even make even more connections. So I guess, looking back at how your careers have developed after high school, could you describe what sparked your interest in the government sector? So Elizabeth, why don't you kick us off with that one?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this a lot lately. So I'm going through the process right now of applying to law school. So, going through my personal statement, I think I've always just had an interest in the government sector since I was very young, particularly in the judicial branch. I love reading about the landmark Supreme Court cases, had an obsession with RBG, Sonia Sotomayor. And I think as I grew up, I started to realize like the urgency for more Latinos in government. And I just became more aware of the world around me. And I just realized that there wasn't much representation at all for us. So I think I started to grow like a really great interest in government.
Thanks for sharing that. Definitely, yes, representation is important to have in government. How about you, Alexis? Share a little bit more with us.
Yeah, so I actually always thought that I was going to go to law school and become a lawyer. That was my thought. I did the whole mock trial speech and debate thing in high school and absolutely loved that. And I was like, this is my end all be all goal. And after going to university and taking more classes and really talking to my professors about it, I realized maybe law school wasn't the best route for me. So I actually interned at the Minnesota State Senate. And I worked with an all Latina group. So the senator was Latina, the legislative assistant was Latina, and I was their intern. And so I really felt there that this was my calling. I spoke to all Latino constituents and helping out in that regard. And I really saw the need, but that was in Minneapolis. And I knew coming back home, coming to Indianapolis, that I could do even more to help the Latino population here. So it all kind of worked out very serendipitously for me to figure out what worked out for me, what was my calling really. If it wasn't for that internship, I don't think I would have really known that there was that. Well, I knew there was a need, but I didn't know that I could be the one to supply the assistance and help out my community.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's amazing how you both have different experiences in government and have been part of different parts of government. And so I think kind of going more into that topic of government, of young Latinx individuals within, having experienced different fields of government, how would you describe in your perspective the current representation that exists for young Latinx professionals within government? I feel like I said government like 5 times there, but we can start with Elizabeth.
Yeah, I feel like the few that we do have a very strong presence, especially in Indiana, but I think we've been growing more, but we're not at all where we need to be. And it's not at all representative of the population, especially the population of Latinos here in India growing. So I think that needs to grow, especially in elected office, particularly. But that's what I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree, especially, locally, statewide, and nationally, right? I think representation is needed in all of those areas. Alexis?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree that on like an entire level, government-wise, there needs to be more representation because that's what it truly is. I'll speak on behalf of this state because that's just what I see. I work with a lot of people at the state level. So with my commission, at least, I work with all Latinos. All Latinos are on my commission. The biggest difference is that there is a large generational divide. I am the youngest person in that group of the commission. So I see a lot of well-established Latinos who have gone through their professional establishment and are now established within the community and the government. The thing that I see that is lacking are young Latinos who are in government. I rarely see just walking the government center area a lot of young Latinos. So that's really my end all be all goal, to see more people that I can say hola and just have those conversations too. So I definitely do see a need for growth. I know it's there. Elizabeth here, she's about to graduate. So I know that there's a lot more coming in, and I'm super hopeful for the future and to see a more diverse and a more reflective government working people.
Thanks for sharing that. You've mentioned some of the challenges, especially with representation, and, maybe there are challenges that you both have faced. So what advice would you all give to a high school or a college student looking to explore opportunities or thinking maybe, having a career in government or just getting involved within government? So I guess we'll just let you keep continuing, Alexis. What do you share with it?
Yeah, I guess my biggest advice for in college or high school is don't be afraid to just throw yourself out there and apply to that job or that internship you don't think that you're qualified for. Even me for this position, I was a bit scared to apply. I was like, no, I'm not qualified. They're going to see me. She's too young. She's just fresh out of college. I applied and I deserve to be where I'm at. And so I think that mentality is super strong within the Latino community, that you need to let your work show for itself and not really advocate for yourself. But if you don't advocate for yourself, who else? And what else is the biggest form of advocating for yourself than it is going up, applying, doing your best in your interview? Really just do things that are outside of your normal state of nature. Like this group even, I was so scared that first day. I was like, oh my gosh, all these people are doing so many great things. Should I be here? No, that is not the case. Everyone has that feeling of dread, but you're going to regret it more if you don't put yourself out there and apply for that job, apply for that internship, join Axis. So I would say that's my biggest advice for up and coming professionals.
I love that. I love, just the fact that, we have to go for it. If we see something, we got to go for it. Because a lot of times we're the ones that tell ourselves no first, but, we never know what is waiting for us. All the opportunities that we have, can have access to. How about you, Elizabeth? What's kind of an advice that you would give to a high school or a college student looking to explore opportunities in government?
Yeah, I think I would just echo that, just going for it, taking advantage of every single opportunity, making meaningful connections, just putting yourself out there. Sometimes it's super intimidating talking to people in higher positions, asking them out for coffee, stuff like that. But ultimately, your network is what's going to take you really far. So I would definitely just say, put yourself out there, let yourself be uncomfortable, be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, perfect. I think that's something that we've said a lot of the sessions, right? Is being comfortable with being uncomfortable and being honest with yourself on where you're at and really taking the chance. So really commend both of you all for the chances and really look forward to everything you all will continue to do in our city. Last question here, y'all. What have been some challenges and takeaways throughout your career journeys thus far? And most importantly, how have support systems impacted your journeys? I'm sure we all manage stress and we all have expectations and we all, sometimes fall, but we get back up. Well, how have support systems impacted that part of your careers? We can start with Alexis.
Yeah, support systems, I would say my first few months being in Indy, I didn't feel like I had that. I was so fresh. I just thought that, no, I can't show weakness. I can't let people know that I'm struggling. I really have to internalize this. And then I started to get to know more of my colleagues at work, but then also my peers within Access. I just tell them like, hey, this is happening. This is struggling. One this is just feeling really that generational divide, me feeling that, wow, I am new. I am a very young person, not afraid to share my opinions. So that sometimes cannot really get across the other person. So I was really struggling with that communication, but really talking it through with my peers and letting them know, and also letting them know that there may be a cultural aspect to it has really helped me talk with my Access peers versus maybe some of my colleagues within the government that aren't Latino. So that was really beneficial to really talk through, being able to just talk, or just even being able to just have them sympathize and understand. Understanding is more powerful than I ever thought than just being able to listen. It's really that cultural knowledge that I've been able to get with my peers within Access.
That's awesome. And it's great to hear that Access has been kind of part of that support system throughout your journey. So thank you for sharing, Alexis. Elizabeth?
For me personally, I know I've struggled a lot with imposter syndrome, being in spaces where I didn't see a lot of people that looked like me or came from backgrounds like myself. So having a really strong support system really helped me to overcome that type of stuff. Having people that believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. Having people that would tell me, no, you deserve to be here. And I think I definitely started to, luckily, believe that myself. But definitely having that in the beginning helped me out a lot. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, thank you both for joining us tonight, for sharing a little bit more about your story, your experiences. It's been a privilege getting to know each one of you a little bit more. And, also thank you to everyone for tuning in. We're excited to be able to bring you all new content each month. Next month, we will be interviewing another group of Access participants. So don't forget to subscribe to the Indiana Latino Expo YouTube channel and follow us on IG and Facebook. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.